G'day, it's Michael Guest, and I've got my mate here, Jack Nolan, who just so happens to be an outboard mechanic. You're a handy fella some days.
Very handy to know, mate. I get invited out on boats quite often.
You can definitely see why. This is my 590 Quinny. It's all good to go. It's actually due for a service, not too far away, but you know, in between services, there's maintenance checks that we need to do, and certainly if you've got an older outboard engine, you need to be right on top of that, so that when you go out through the bar, which is just here, you're going to be self-sufficient, safe, and you're not relying, you don't want to be getting rescued.
Yeah, that's right. You want to make sure that your equipment's ready to go before you head out.
All right, mate. Well, I'll get you to run through some of the things that you, as an qualified outboard mechanic, that you're definitely going to be wanting to look at before you head out.
Yeah, well, these are just a couple of simple things you can do at home. Nothing too technical, just a few things to keep an eye on in between your annual services you get done.
Let's do it.
We'll start from the bottom, mate, and work our way up.
Yep.
So first thing we want to check, no oil leaks out down the prop here. So we do have a gearbox full of oil and seals at the prop shaft here, so you want to make sure there's no oil leaking down here. Second thing to do, this is your intake grate. So this is where your water will actually come in to your water pump and then obviously up and cool your engine. So you want to make sure there's no plastic or sand, debris caught in there.
Yep, yeah, because that's going to overheat your engine.
That's going to overheat your engine, yeah.
What about the prop, mate?
Prop's a very important part of the boat.
Yeah,
so,
it makes it go fast. I like that bit.
Sure does. So obviously you want to be nice and careful. A lot of new propellers these days are actually quite sharp, but you just want to make sure there's no play in the propeller there, so you can see that's nice and tight. And you can give it a bit of a spin and just make sure that your propeller shaft's nice and straight.
Yeah, okay, so looking back into here.
Just looking back in there, make sure it's not wobbling or not catching anywhere there. So
all looks good, so that's excellent. And if you find an issue like that oil leak down through here, or if you've had your boat sitting in the shed and you notice a little bit of oil there, you've got to go and see your dealer, haven't you?
Yeah, drop it in, get them to have a look at it and work out exactly where it's coming from.
All right, cool.
Some engines two-strokes will have a little bit of oil come out the exhaust, but definitely it's worth getting it checked out.
Yeah, no, these modern four-strokes are pretty clean in that department, that's for sure. All right, so what about up this way? And then we've got a few bits and pieces, so what do you got there, mate? You got a bit of a collection?
Got a bit of a collection here, mate. A handy grease gun, something good to have around.
Yep, so we've got a grease nipple just in here.
Yep.
So what is that actually greasing, that bit?
So that's actually greasing your, what we call a through tube, so where your engine will tilt up and down.
Okay.
So you want to make sure...
So if you get that and you hear some people tilt their engine and it goes, makes that horrible pinching, squeaky noise.
I need to buy one of these.
Get some grease in there, good quality grease. And we've got, don't forget, in-store, all of this stuff's in there. You can go and get all your good quality greases and all those bits and pieces and just have them in your shed, ready to go. All right, so whack a bit into that, eh?
Yep. A little bit of grease in there, nice and easy to do. You don't want to go too much either.
Yep.
Over grease it, you'll have grease spewing out everywhere. So.
Perfect, all right, bit of grease there. So no, that's all good. And then as far as the steering ram goes, I can see like that beautiful polished stainless steel there. A little bit of spray on that,
a little bit of spray again. Grab that in store, it's worth having.
Yeah, definitely, so just a bit of spray there.
Yep, a little bit of spray on there, on the seals and all that kind of stuff. Make sure it's not getting too dry or it's going to crack.
Let's take this engine cowl off, eh?
Going off, mate. Might be sometimes a bit of a two-person job, though. You don't want to drop it and scratch it.
Definitely not. I'll sit this safely. If I put it on the ground, it can't fall anywhere else, can it?
Yeah, that's right, perfect.
All right, that all looks pretty nice in there, doesn't it?
That's schmick, yeah, beautiful.
Nice. So, and what are we looking for here? Is that, as an outboard mechanic, you've done it for a long time now. Like you'd see some horrible things on old engines, I'd reckon.
Sure. The first thing you're looking for is corrosion, rust, and salt. Really.
Yep.
You want to make sure your engine's nice and clean.
Enemy of the outboard engine.
That's right. This engine's sucking in so much air when it's underway that it can, if you have a transducer or something throwing a bit of water, it can start sucking that salt in and all over your electronics and that kind of stuff. So this engine's beautiful, nice and clean. There's no salt in there at all, really.
Yep. So straight away, yeah. So we've got spark plugs down through here. They would need replacing at a regular maintenance interval anyway. So if you've got misfiring in an older engine, you need to look at that. But no, that's all looking pretty good. So when we're checking our oil, we don't want that horrible burnt black colour.
No, you don't want it to be black and burnt and real thin. You kind of want that nice golden, nice sort of consistency.
So it is going to change colour a bit over time. So that's when it's brand new. But look at that.
Yep.
That's just like magnificent. That's what it's going to look like when you change your oil. But if it's thick at all, that's really bad too.
Yeah. So if it has water in it, you don't want it to have water,
Yep.
be burnt or be low. Really.
And once water gets in with oil, it'll go a milky colour. It goes
yep.
that milky colour,
Yep.
which that's all bad news. All right, let's come around this side and have a look at where the dipstick is. Righto, mate.
Righto, mate.
Pass me those.
You can hold
I'll
those.
hang on to those for you.
So first of all, first thing we're going to do is check the oil, as we were talking about before. And usually your dipstick will have a nice bright coloured top on it, like this one. This one's nice and yellow, so you know where it is pretty easy. So pop that out there. Try not to.
So you've got your rag ready to catch any oil.
Yeah, ready to go. You will get a couple of drops off it.
So this one's ready for an oil change, but that still looks pretty good.
Yep.
So there's no milkiness about it.
No milkiness. It's a good consistency.
Oh, what's that word? Viscosity.
Viscosity.
Oh, I love
oil
that.
viscosity.
Hey, there's that for a word. and as far as the level goes, we're in the range of where we need to be, so no issues there.
If you were to check your oil and it was down here and you were planning on going out, you'd want to top it up.
Yeah.
You'd want to add some oil to it for sure. You want it well and truly in the middle before you head out.
Yep.
For sure.
No dramas. And an oil change on an outboard motor's, I do them at home. I've done them for mates at home before. It's not that difficult for a filter change. You can do it yourself and change your oil. Yep. So that's a whole other thing. We're certainly not going to do it at the boat ramp here. That's something that you're doing at the shed at home. So yeah, and then as far as that goes, you want to make sure that's not loose or there's any oil leaks.
Yeah, no oil leaks there. You got your main power wire will come in here. So that's your negative or your earth, and that's your positive. So you just want to make sure that they're nice and tight, no corrosion around them. So that looks brand new, pretty good.
Yeah, this one is for sure. So not everyone's engine is going to be nice and new like this one, but we're just sort of trying to give you a bit of an overall picture about trying to make sure that your weekends are you're gearing up for the weekend and you're having a good time, and a little bit of this sort of stuff, whether it's trailer maintenance, we've spoken about that before, whether it's outboard engine maintenance like this, all of those things put together means that you're going to have a smoother day out on the water and less likelihood of any sort of failure. I think that's really important.
For sure. And once you do these checks, you'll kind of get to know them, and it'll only take you a couple of minutes before you head out.
It's a quick bit of rhythm. What about when I come back in and I've had a big day out and I'm worried that I've had a bit of, can I put fresh water in here and flush around there?
Yeah, for sure. You can't hit the whole engine with
but in around the
fresh,
tray.
But yeah, in around the bottom here, and you'll see it'll run out the bottom of the covers here. But yeah, definitely in around there. If you've got a wave over the back or a bit of salt water in there, it's definitely worth washing that salt out.
Yeah, cool. And then maybe give a bit of we've got our spray around here. Maybe spray any of those sort of metallic objects in around here too. Give them a bit of a touch up in around there as well. Anywhere you think that it might need a bit of help with any possible corrosion. Certainly on the catch as well, I guess. Perfect. Mate, that's all good to go, I reckon.